Welcome to Vet Review. Here we are going to do a quick review of scapula of horse, dog and pig. First let us take the scapula of a horse. The first major point that you can see right away is this, the absence of the acromion process. So in the scapula of ox we have already seen this acromion process. It is very prominent and you can easily identify this. But in case of horse, the acromion process is absent. So the first point that you will note is acromion is absent. Now the second thing is the scapular ratio. So in case of ox, we had seen the ratio between supraspinous fossa and infraspinous fossa is 1:3. In case of horse, it is 1:2. So the supra is 1 and the infra is 2. Okay, I'll write here. Supraspinous fossa is to infraspinous fossa is equal to 1:2. So the infraspinous fossa is twice as large as supraspinous fossa. The third point that you can see right away is tuber scapulae. The tuber scapulae is very large and it is placed further away from the glenoid cavity. Okay, so tuber scapulae, you can see it is prominent. I'm just going to write an arrow sign like this. Okay, you can see these features very clearly. There are also some other features, but these three are very clear and you can easily identify the scapula of a horse. Now second, scapula of dog. The first thing that you can see is this. The anterior and the dorsal borders are continuous and highly convex, right? So this cranial border or the anterior border or the dorsal border, they are kind of continuous and they form a highly convex shape. So you can say that the cranial angle is absent, because see here you can see an angle, here you can see an angle, but here the borders are continuous to each other, so the cranial angle is absent. Cranial angle is absent. The second thing is this, the acromion process. In case of dog, the acromion process is very long, okay, and it extends up to the level of glenoid cavity. So let me correct this thing. Now it is correct. Okay, it extends up to the level of glenoid cavity. So acromion is very long, and remember, up to the level of glenoid cavity. The third thing which you cannot see here, why? Because it is lateral surface and that thing is present on the medial side, and that is coracoid process. So what about coracoid process? The coracoid process is absent. Okay, so coracoid process absent. Okay, so this is a model of scapula of ox, and here on the anteromedial side you can see this coracoid process. But in case of dog, this process is absent. One more difference is there. It is not that much clear, but you can use it, and that is, in case of dog, on the medial side you have subscapular fossa, and that subscapular fossa presents a few rough lines, okay, and it is true for a lot of carnivores, not just dog, okay. But these 3 points are very clear, you can identify them right away. The third is scapula of pig. So 2 points are actually very much clear. One is the spine. So you can see the spines of horse and dog or even cattle, right? This ox scapula here. In case of pig, I hope you are able to appreciate how much wide this scapula is. Okay, so the scapular spine, sorry, not scapula, scapular spine is very wide and it goes backwards, very much backwards, right? Normal scapular spine like this, pig very wide and goes backwards. So spine very much prominent, goes backwards, or you can say caudally. Okay, it goes caudally. The second thing is the anterior border or the cranial border. You can see it is convex and forms a very pointy shape, right? So the cranial border is convex and pointy. One more point is that the acromion process is rudimentary. I'll not say that it is absent, it is present, but it is not as prominent as in case of dog or ox. Now one more thing that I forgot to mention in both of these scapula is the scapular ratio, this thing. So this is the supraspinous because it is cranial. I mentioned cranial and caudal here if you have paid attention. So the ratio in case of dog is 1:1. Both the fossas are equal. In case of pig, however, it is actually, what I can say, unique, because in this case the supraspinous fossa is actually slightly bigger and the infraspinous fossa is slightly smaller. While in case of other species you can see it is either larger or equal, but in case of pig it is smaller. So the ratio is 1:0.8. Here I'll write it. Supraspinous to infraspinous ratio is 1:0.8. In case of dog, the ratio is same. Not same, sorry, it is 1. Okay. So this is all about the scapula of horse, dog and pig. Using these tricks, you can easily identify in your practical examination and you can distinguish between scapula of horse, dog and pig. There are other distinguishing points, but these I thought were very prominent and easily distinguished. Okay, so I hope you understand this topic, and if you found this video very useful, then please give this video a like, share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel.